The Secret Desires of a Woman, a Journey of Discovery. A woman's hidden world. Some stories are never meant to be told, but some truths demand to be spoken. My name is Maya, and this is the story of how I discovered my own desires, fears, and the secrets of a woman's mind when it comes to intimacy. It started as something simple, a relationship with a man named David. But what I learned in the months that followed would change the way I understood love, passion, and myself. Many people think intimacy is just about physical connection, but for women, it's much deeper. It's an emotional, psychological, and even spiritual journey. And I learned this the hard way. Chapter 1: The Awakening. Before David, I thought I understood love. I had been in relationships, experienced heartbreak, and even thought I had found passion. But something always felt incomplete. There was a disconnect, an emptiness I couldn't explain. Then, I met him. He was different. Unlike the men before him, he didn't rush. He didn't see me as just a body, he saw me as a person. And that, I would later learn, was the first secret of a woman's desire. She needs to feel valued beyond the physical. The first time we were intimate, I felt something strange. It wasn't just passion, it was a deep sense of connection. The way he looked at me, the way he traced his fingers along my skin, made me feel more vulnerable than I had ever been. And yet, I felt safe. That night, I learned that for a woman, intimacy isn't about the act itself. It's about trust. If she doesn't feel emotionally safe, her body won't respond fully. Chapter 2: The Psychology of Desire. As our relationship deepened, so did my understanding of myself. I noticed little things that I had never paid attention to before. For example, I felt more connected when the lights were dim. It wasn't about insecurity, it was something deeper. Later, I read that many women associate soft lighting with emotional intimacy, making them feel more relaxed and open. Then there was the matter of foreplay. I used to think that desire should come instantly, like it did in movies. But with David, I realized something different. A woman's body and mind take time to synchronize. The more patient he was, the stronger my feelings became. That was when I learned another truth: a woman's desire isn't always immediate. It builds, slowly, like a fire that needs time to grow. Chapter 3: When Emotions and Passion Collide. One evening, David and I had an argument. It wasn't anything major, just a misunderstanding. But I was hurt. I thought I wouldn't want to be close to him that night. But then, something surprising happened. As we sat in silence, I felt an intense wave of emotion, not anger, but passion. Before I knew it, I was kissing him, my frustration melting into something else. Later, I would learn that many women experience this phenomenon. When emotions run high, their bodies can interpret that energy in unexpected ways. Some women find themselves craving intimacy after an argument, not as a way to fix things, but because emotions and desire are deeply linked. That night, I realized that for women, intimacy is not separate from feelings. It is a reflection of them. Chapter 4: The Hidden Desires We Never Speak About. Over time, I started paying attention to what made me feel most connected. It wasn't just touch, it was everything leading up to it. I noticed that when David whispered in my ear, my body reacted before I even had a chance to think. When he ran his fingers along my back without expectation, I felt a deeper longing than if he had simply been direct. I also realized that my desires changed based on how I felt emotionally. If I was stressed or emotionally distant, my body shut down. But when I felt cherished, appreciated, and understood, I responded effortlessly. That's when I understood the biggest truth of all. For women, intimacy is not just physical, it is mental and emotional. The body follows where the heart and mind lead. Chapter 5: The Things Men Often Don't Realize. David wasn't like other men I had been with, but even he had moments where he didn't fully understand me. There were nights when I wasn't in the mood, and he would ask, "Did I do something wrong?" He didn't realize that sometimes a woman's desire has nothing to do with her partner, it has to do with how she feels inside. Some nights, all I wanted was to be held. And yet, on other nights, a single look from him could ignite something powerful. This is where many relationships struggle. Men assume women's desire works the same way as theirs, consistent, predictable. But for women, it is fluid, ever-changing. It is shaped by emotions, experiences, and even small details, like the way he looks at her across the room. Chapter 6: When Love and Desire Align. One night, as I lay beside David, I had a realization. "I think I finally understand myself," I whispered. He looked at me, curious. "What do you mean?" I used to think desire was about attraction, but it's not. It's about feeling seen, feeling safe, feeling wanted in a way that isn't just physical. He smiled, running his fingers through my hair. "I've always wanted you in every way." And that was the difference. When a woman feels wanted beyond just her body, when she feels cherished, her desire becomes limitless. That night, I learned that intimacy isn't about performance. It isn't about perfect bodies or techniques. It's about emotional connection, trust, and the unspoken language of touch. Conclusion: the truth every woman should know. Looking back, I realized that my journey wasn't just about discovering what I wanted, it was about understanding who I was. Women are not just physical beings. Their desires are shaped by emotions, by how they are treated, by how they see themselves. If I could give one piece of advice to every woman, it would be this: pay attention to what makes you feel alive. And if you're with someone who doesn't make you feel seen, heard, and valued, then maybe it's time to walk away. Because real intimacy isn't about the body, it's about the soul. Final thought. Every woman's journey is different, but one thing remains true: when she feels deeply connected, both emotionally and physically, her desire flourishes. And when that happens, intimacy becomes something far more powerful than just an act. It becomes an expression of love, trust, and self-discovery. Would you like me to refine this further or add any additional elements? If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with others. Your support helps us keep creating valuable content. Thank you.